Hey, I decided to make one more video, 250 week 7 part 10. I wanted to make one more quick video, just because I was talking about this thing about Wordsworth. I'm going to sit down. Just because I was talking about this thing about Wordsworth and how Wordsworth built the world that we currently live in. I just kind of wanted to expand on that a little bit because I actually feel like this is the point of college, is stuff like this. You are born into a world and you're just like, that's how it is. This is life. But one thing a college education reveals is that the things you think of as normal and natural and everyday and universal across all time and place is not. It's just local in time and space. So, for example, and it means that you think, you're like, oh, men are just like that. No, men in this part of the world during these decades are just like that. But they don't have to be, and they haven't been at all times. It's created by culture. And one of the reasons why a class like this is interesting is because you get to see the philosophers whose ideas created the world that you currently live in. And I think the most important thing you can learn from this process is that if it doesn't have to be like this, if somebody invented, it's not just God didn't make men like this. Men are like this because they've been watching movies that taught them to act a certain way, and those movies were created, in certain countries, America, at certain times the last couple of decades, and it creates people copy the movies, and so it's not just, life isn't just like this. It's like this because people invented it this way. And importantly, you could invent a different way of living your life and doing things. So I just want to give you a couple of really quick examples. One serious example has to do with students every semester asking me if Shakespeare's gay. Some of Shakespeare's love poems were written to a man. Quite a few of them, actually. He has sonnets, and some of them are to a woman, but a bunch of them are to a guy. And people try to be like, oh, they're just friends, but like, it seems more sexy than that. And people go, well, is Shakespeare gay? The problem with doing that is that you have an idea in your mind of what gayness is. And I know you're thinking it's just men having sex with men, but there's more to it than that. Like when you picture gay men, you're not just picturing men having sex with men. You're picturing like a whole lifestyle of, marrying a gay man marrying another one, and the gay men are sort of like women, and they enjoy shopping, and they like to get fancy girly drinks, and right, there's this whole stereotype that comes from TV and movies. And then people go, is Shakespeare gay? And it's like, I don't think you could take the word gay as it exists in modern day America and be like, somebody in England 400 years ago is gay. Like, it wouldn't have, certainly people in England, there were men who had sex with men, but it would have meant something different, and it would have appeared differently than it appears now, so that it's kind of unfair to take the word gay and just move it back 400 years, Plato, for example, in Plato's time, there were a lot of men having sex with men. Was it gay? Well, it's tricky, because what we mean by gay is people are men attracted to men for their whole lives. And what they were doing was they would have younger men would have sex with older men, and then those younger men, when they got to be mature, would marry a woman and have children and a family, and then when they got to be old men, they would take young men as lovers and educate them. So, like, is that gay? Well, it's not what we mean in modern day America by gay. So it's a little bit oh man, this mosquito just took the blood out of my body. I just watched him do it. Okay. There's a lot of examples like this. I'm gonna give you some sillier ones. But like, I often ask my students, what's the most popular sport in America? And and this is a little bit out of date, but they guess and they guess and they guess and they guess and they get it wrong. Football, nope. Basketball, no. Is baseball, no. Is it tennis, no. Is it hockey, no. And the answer is NASCAR. But you don't think that doesn't sound right, because you live in New York and nobody in New York gives a shit about NASCAR. But go out in the middle of America and people fucking love NASCAR. So I guess my point is that the things you think of is just true everywhere. What's the most popular sport in America? Because you're from New York, you're getting a skewed answer. So that you think you know what America's like because you know what New York is like. But New York is not a representative sample of America. Leave the city and things are different. I'm sure if you've had people come visit you, you think of a normal amount of walking, and then someone comes to visit you from out of town and they can't believe they have to climb all these subway stairs to move around. And you're like, what are you talking about? This is normal. But again, normal for them is not normal for you. One of my favorite examples is a friend of mine sold yachts. You know what yachts are? These really big boats that rich people get. So they sold yachts to like rich people in America. And then they were like, you know what? We should expand our business. There's a lot of new, rich Chinese dudes in China. Let's sell them some yachts. So they went out to China to sell yachts. these big, beautiful boats in the water. And they tried to get these Chinese businessmen to come, and the Chinese businessmen did not want to get on the fucking yacht. They didn't like it. But he, got them on the yacht and, check it out, guys, this is amazing, this is awesome, and get on the boat. And you know how yachts have there's like a room in the boat? My friend was like, come out on deck, this is so nice, and they didn't want to come out on deck, they wanted to stay inside. And the question is why? And a lot of my students make guesses. Maybe they're afraid of the water, they don't like boats, but no, it's not it. It's really fascinating. It's a really interesting answer. And some of my students, particularly my Chinese students, will be able to tell you. It is usually one person, usually Chinese, who can tell me why. The answer is funny because it's the kind of thing that surprises Americans. Because again, you think the things you know in America are true everywhere, and they're not. Why did the Chinese guys not want to why did they not want to just hang out on the deck of a boat? Because they didn't want a tan. See, in America, rich guys with a tan means that you're so wealthy that you are able to chill out on a boat, relaxing in the sunshine while all these other poor people got to go to work every day. In America, a tan for rich people is a sign of superpower wealth. But in China, having a tan means you are a farmer or fisherman, and it means that you're poor. And if you ever go to Chinatown during the summer, you'll see people carrying umbrellas when it's sunny out. Why? They don't want to get a tan. Why? Because in that culture, tan equals poor. That's not necessarily true in large parts of America. So it's a different, the point is things you think of, like a tan, that's got to mean the same thing everywhere, right? Sunshine getting on your skin, turning it darker. Nope. It means different things in different areas in different parts of the world. So this is really the key thing about studying things like Wordsworth, is you find out sort of where everything comes from. And if it was invented by somebody, you could invent it a different way and change the world. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Well, we're done for the day, but I'll see you later.